Hi, my name is Barry Sterling Mitchell. I produce the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings and the Bias Plus reports. Today is May 1st, 2024. Benny, and this is Ben and Barry on football.
Hello out there, everybody. This is Ben Dickerson. I am your co-host. As you can see, I am all sixered up. Oh my God. I would have been sixered up anyway, because I'm a big Sixers fan. However, that game last night took me through every emotion imaginable to watch us in watching the basketball game. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tyrese Maxey is the latest in many great Sixer stars.
Yeah,
And that's all I got to say about that.
Tyrese did the darn thing when crunch time came. But I listen to Craig Carton in the morning, avid Knicks fan, and
Yeah.
he pointed out something that I kept noticing over and over last night when I'm watching the game, and that is that Knicks guard
Dylan Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson forgot he had any teammates. He was just trying to go one on one against every and anybody and every and any time. And I'm like, dude, pass the ball, move the ball around, get yourself open, make yourself an easy shot. And he's driving in on them beat. And I'm like, he's 7'1". So if you're going to drive in there, you better make sure you got something going there. I really think as much as um, Maxey was a hero, um, Brunson was kind of a goat last night, man. Where he had been great, up to this point. If you're making those shots, it's one thing, but if you ain't making them and you still driving and driving and you're not passing the ball off, and then crunch time came and y'all played like suckers. So, what can I tell you? I enjoyed the game. I thought it was a great game. Like I said, Maxie did his thing. So congratulations on that. And then it's back to Philly, right?
Yep, back to Philly tomorrow night.
Back to Philly on a Friday
And
night.
and what I heard was a couple of the owners kicked in and bought 2,000 tickets, and they're going to give them away to a plethora of different types of citizens of the city, first responders, uh, healthcare workers, so on and so forth, to try to mitigate the number of Knicks fans to get their hands on tickets, because that was really ugly the other day. And they acted like fools after the game was over, which was even worse.
There was something about the tickets that I read that kind of said that they actually, in a way, helped the Knicks fans.
I heard that too. And
So,
I think that when the word got out, they felt compelled to do something, because it's all about money with them cats, man.
absolutely, absolutely. So, this this is the first week, sort of after the draft is all done and the dust is starting to settle and people are starting to do their draft grades and they're starting to talk about, I've even seen, was it the one guy, he already has his who's going to be the first in the division off through the entire
Yeah, I'll be doing that too, but it's a little soon for that, as far
uh,
as I'm concerned. But
uh,
these guys like to stay out in front of this stuff, man. That gives them the live. That gives them the ability to go back and change their stuff later too. By the way.
Well, maybe so. Or as Stephen A said, it's all fluid with him.
Right, right.
What's my man's name? Comes on in the afternoon. He used to be Joy used to be his co-host.
Colin Cowherd.
Colin, yeah. He's already out with his. So we've got some work to do. I'm looking forward to some future shows. I'll mention that a couple of our normal shows would be our backup quarterback specials. Um, best job in the NFL, backup quarterback. We'll do a couple of other things, but I also want to do something. I want to honor the ladies in football. I'm starting to notice a number of different ladies that are reporting from sidelines or really being brought in. Um, on some of the reports and stuff. And, I have personal favorites. I'm sure you have a couple personal favorites. So I'm interested to put together a little list of that. So look forward to that in the future. But for the people who are looking at us on YouTube, I want to remind them to push the like button and the subscribe button and notification button. That's what it is, so that you can be notified. We record once a week, and normally it's on a Wednesday, as it is today. And that video will then be out the next day. So, check in with us on a weekly basis. You put out your mock draft. I literally gave you some kudos and a clip that I put out. Now, I know you don't really go on Instagram. You're not really an Instagram person.
I'm on there.
Are you on Instagram? So you see this?
Time to time. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been on our Instagram page.
Okay. Well, I put a clip out where you were saying about no running backs being taken to the second round. And that was pretty on target, That was pretty on target, man. So just letting people know, you're going to get accurate information, or at least information that's been well researched and studied, so when it comes to you, you can feel comfortable that there's a lot of credibility to it. You know what I mean?
I do my best.
You do your best. Don't we both, So now let's talk about how you did when you put forth your mock draft.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. And I'll tell you the truth. I did something I'm not going to do anymore. I'm going to try not to do anymore. I should never say I'm not going to, never say never, right? But previously I didn't do it. But for this year, I felt compelled. I kind of let the talking heads kind of talk me into it. And that was to speculate on where people were going to get drafted and to what teams they were going to get drafted based on a trade. And I actually should not have done that. If I hadn't, I would have gotten 2 more of my picks right from 2.0. But I did come out with 3.0. 3.0, I did try to predict that the Vikings would put together the best trade package to trade up to get a quarterback. I felt like they might not be able to get it done with the Cardinals, but they might be able to get it done at number 3 with the Patriots. And I was wrong. I wasn't the only one who speculated this. They were talking about it even as they were about to go on the clock. But Patriots kept their pick. They made their pick. Because they made the pick, because of the player that they picked, which was Drake May, I actually got a point for that because I did say that the Patriots would pick Drake May, but I didn't have the right draft slot because I had them taking him at number 11 after trading with the Vikings. So I kind of got it right, but not totally right. In fact, I actually got, let me recount this to make sure I'm right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6. I actually got, out of 32 players, I got 6 100% right. The player, the right team, and then the right draft slot. Okay. I got 1.
Agree on that, eh?
Yeah, one of them I got, and that was the one I'm most proud of. Right player to the right team, but at a different spot because the Chiefs actually traded up to take the guy I said they were going to take at their regular spot, which was Xavier Worthy,
right?
The 4.22 guy or 4.21 or whatever he ran at the combine. So something told me that that's the guy that would fit in well with them. That's the guy. It was shades of Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? They thought back a couple of years and they said, what can we do if we pair Mahomes with a speedster like this? Oh my God, we can wreak havoc. Not to mention that receiver-wise, they're in a bit of a pickle, okay, talent-wise. So it made sense. And doggone if that didn't work out perfectly. Now, of course, the first couple weren't that hard. Caleb Williams to the Bears wasn't a big deal. Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. Most people will say, just about everybody got that. Not everybody did, though. But for the most part, they did.
I was looking at one of the reports from, I think, from the NFL channel. And out of about 5 people, only 2 said he was going to the Commanders. Even my girl Cynthia Freeland was wrong on that.
They thought the Commanders would take Drake May.
They thought, well, they didn't have him taking Jaden Daniels. That's what I know for sure. Because
Okay.
that's a question, Jaden Daniels, So in any event, not everybody got that. And that seemed like a natural because, again, you and I thought he as good as the number 1.
Exactly. But there was all the scuttlebutt, okay? All the talk about how he was unhappy with the fact that when they called him in for an interview, they also brought in a bunch of other guys on the same day. Now, the report was he didn't like it, but in fact, it was his agent who said he didn't like it.
Right.
So we've never heard that come out of his particular mouth. But what we did hear come out of his mouth was his respect for Antonio Pierce, who is the head coach of the Vegas Raiders, who recruited him to Arizona State, where he played before he went to LSU. And he loves Antonio Pierce. And he was very public about hoping that somehow he could end up with the Raiders. So we were thinking maybe that might rub some people in Washington the wrong way, but they stuck to their convictions. They had him as the next best guy. They went ahead and took him. And the Patriots went ahead and took Drake May, not drafting down to get him, but going ahead and keeping their number 3 pick and taking him. And then Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals. And after that, it was kind of a crapshoot. I believed in my Giants taking Malik Nabers. A lot of people were saying they got to take a quarterback. They got to take a quarterback. If they sit tight, they could end up with J.J. McCarthy. I'm not 100% sold on J.J. McCarthy, really. People are talking, a lot about him and what a great leader he is. And, he quarterbacked the national championship team and all that. But this guy really hasn't put enough passing tape on video for me to be 100% sure about him. They just didn't have that type of team. They just didn't need that from him. So it's hard to tell. They say he aced his pro day. He looked great. But again, NFL is a whole different animal, man. And if you don't have those reps under your belt, at least to give you some foundation to catch up with the speed of the NFL game, it's hard to be sure about a guy like that.
I heard that conversation also this morning about him. And like what you're saying is basically it's the reps versus his ability to make this adjustment without those reps, And
right.
So that's going to be really interesting to see. Just like when they talk about Jaden Daniels with Washington, they're like, well, if it doesn't work in the passing game, he can always run it, but you don't want him doing that either.
So. Yeah. I hate to hear talk like that. Having the ability to run is wonderful. Failing as a good passer, so you just run anyway, that's what everybody thought Lamar Jackson was going to do. People are still talking about Lamar in that respect, even though he's pretty much proven that he can work from the pocket, and he's a way better passer than most people thought. But Jaden Daniels coming in as a rookie, he's going to get the same thing. So, yeah, you're right. I don't want
Kingsbury Cliff for a quarterback, for a coach who, considering that he's coming from Arizona, where he had a quarterback who could run.
Right. Had Kyler Murray. Had Kyler Murray in college.
But he's more known for the type of offense where you're really throwing the ball more.
Yes.
So this will be interesting to see. And he's in your division.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The 3 picks I'm most proud of, though, is the Broncos picking at 12 and taking Bo Nix. I felt that one in my bones, man. I said, this guy, I can see Sean Payton loving this guy. He played in college like 5 or 6 years. Guy's like 26 years old or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He got 12 kids.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. He just seemed to fit what Sean Payton's kind of looking for. The next one was at number 14, Saints taking offensive tackle Talisi Fuaga. That was a big one. But again, that was a very strong need for them. And judging by the guys that I thought would go ahead of him, he fell right into that spot. And then last but not least, Xavier Worthy out of Texas, the speedster, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. So I was real happy about that. Now, my grade. This is what I'm thrilled about, man. You're not going to believe this. So I'm trying to find online how they were grading mock drafts. And it came out a little bit differently from the way that they did it last year. So I went with what I could find. Now, what I could find is, and this, I just Googled it and it came up mock draft scores. And I found this site called the Huddle Report. And these guys took the mock drafts of 171 different pundits, journalists, television guys, radio guys. As far as I can tell, YouTubers are on here. There's all kinds of people on here. 171 different dudes that claim they know sports. Okay. As I'm going through this list, obviously I don't know most of these names, but I found some that I did. I found Peter Schrager.
Uh-oh.
Albert Breer.
Oh my goodness.
Lance Zierlein from
Oh,
NFL.com. Daniel Jeremiah. Jason McIntyre, who's the guy who's on Colin now.
Okay.
And Dave Richard with CBS Sports, who I get a lot of my fantasy info from.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Those were the names that I recognized right offhand on this list. So the scoring system was very simple. If you, let me make this right so I can see it. If you had the player going in the first round, regardless of who he went to, as long as he was a first round pick, you got 1 point for that. If you got the player matched up with the proper team, if he was picked by the team you said he would get picked by, you got 2 points for that. Okay? Now, Schrager wasn't the top guy. Matter of fact, I'll tell you where he was. He was tied for second out of 171 people. He was tied for second. The number one guy got a score of 59. Schrager got a 53. Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated, 47.
Okay.
Lance Zierlein, 44. Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Network, 42. Ben Dickerson, 42. Yeah. I'm a bad boy. Jason McIntyre, 36. Dave Richard, 36. Dave Richard, you are off my list for fantasy info.
Oh, no. He might have some inside stuff for you. Might not be the prediction.
He should be calling me. Man, I was happy with that. I did really well. That was crazy.
But he got GMs calling him, and he got all
they got all kind of, sometimes too much information can mess you up. That's why these guys have 7 and 8 mocks before they settle on one, because they can't make up their minds. It's too much. So I try to keep it small. I don't want to go over 3.
Now, okay. So first of all, congratulations on being and hanging with the big boys with your scores for your mocks. There was a number of surprises in this, and one surprise to me was the amount of trades that the Eagles made. I mean, them boys was busy. What did you think about what they did?
You're talking about over the course of the entire 3 days.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, they had a lot of draft capital to work with, first of all. So they did a great job accumulating draft capital, and having that much and making that many moves tells me that they had a plan.
Okay.
Which is what you gotta have.
Okay.
Whether you got a little bit of draft capital or a lot, to maximize it, you got to have some kind of plan. So I think they did really well. I'm telling people, they're coming at me, I'm like, y'all had a great draft. You already had a stacked team. Now, this is what you wanted all these years. You're in the tops. It's Super Bowl or bust now. Can you handle that?
Yeah, that's the question.
If they don't win the Super Bowl, I'm telling all Eagles fans, if you don't win the Super Bowl, the season's a failure. It's a failure. I'm not no conference championship. No, that's not. Dallas can do that. Anybody can do that.
Conference.
Well, yeah, that's okay. That might be a little bit
pushing that a little bit.
That might be a little bit of a reach, but they talk trash about your team, how stinky y'all was. How many NFC championships y'all been in lately? A bunch. Okay, so guess what?
Y'all being the Niners.
It's yes, the Niners. It's Super Bowl or bust for them. They done signed and secured two of the best receivers, one of the best receiving combos in the entire NFL. If you just want to talk combos, 1-2 guy, okay? Your quarterback should be 100% healthy. You got veteran coordinators. They did everything right. Everything. Got a corner in the second round that had a first round grade. Yeah. Even I gave him a first round grade. I am going to your team.
Yeah.
They did everything right.
The other surprise, and I think everybody was a bit surprised that the Falcons took a quarterback. And so I'll let you mention that, but I also want to mention Joe Milton. We talked a little bit about him, right?
Yes, Tennessee.
He went to the Patriots?
Did he?
I think so.
I saw his name. I couldn't.
Like a late round. And I'm like, the Patriots?
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm kind of surprised he went to the Patriots, but I'm not surprised he got picked. So now, are you surprised that he got drafted, or are you surprised the Patriots drafted?
I'm surprised the Patriots drafted him.
Yeah, 6th round.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's late, but
yeah, I was just surprised that because the Patriots have their quarterback room they already have. Then who did they pick up?
They drafted Drake May.
Drake May, okay, so they got
right. So they drafted Drake
quarterbacks.
May. Mac Jones is still there.
Right.
Jacoby Brissett is there. Ready to start. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting quarterback.
Yeah, and now they got Milton sitting there.
Now they got Milton. Very interesting.
Okay. I knew something was weird going on, and when I saw him went there, and I just thank you for helping me pull all of those names together and everything, because me and names, sometimes I forget my own. But those were two surprises. As far as my Niners are concerned, I'm not unhappy. The things that I'm, bits and pieces that I'm coming, it makes me hopeful. The fact that we kind of do pretty well in later draft and with later picks and stuff keeps me hopeful. So I'm just playing it by ear at this particular point. What did you think about your Giants?
Well, that kind of leads me. First of all, I'm happy with the Giants draft. I thought they did really well. I thought they did better than they were scored here. What I did was I went to one of the publications that we respect quite a bit. That's Pro Football Focus. So I took, because everybody's got draft grades out for all 32 teams.
Right.
So I said, let me keep this simple. I'm going to go Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus. What I did was I looked down through all 32 teams, but I only made notes about anybody who got graded B+ or above. Okay? B+ or above. So that means very good to excellent. My Giants got an A-.
Wow.
I'm thrilled with that. Commanders got an A. Eagles, of course, got an A+. NFC East is going to be tough again. It's going to be very tough. The only team that didn't get, I'm going to say, a very good grade in that division was the Cowboys. People are saying, the NFC East hasn't had the same division winner 2 years in a row since I don't know when. It's been a long time. Cowboys won it last year, right? Chances are they won't win it again. Now, how that works out, I don't know. But like I said, It's got to be the Eagles because it's Super Bowl or bust. I'm
Super
gonna
Bowl
keep
or
saying that.
bust.
Yeah. Good. Let's take a quick look at your division, NFC West, which I have touted for quite a while as the toughest division in football. I might have to question that now. I was thinking about questioning that now. But then I look at these draft grades, and guess what? All four teams in the division got B plus. Everybody, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners, and Rams, all got B plus grades from Pro Football Focus for their drafts. So I don't know what that says. I don't know if that means everybody's going to be better, but stay on their same levels as far as each team compared to the other. I don't know what that means, but
well, let me tell you this much. Colin Cowherd in his divisional predictions as to who's going to finish up first, second, and third, and fourth, he's got the Rams finishing in first place.
He's got the Rams winning the division?
Rams, then he has the Niners, then he has the Cardinals, and then he has the Seahawks.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So, okay. That tells me, what does that tell me?
What does that tell you?
That tells me that he's afraid you're going to lose Ayuk.
You think
And
so?
he's also and he believes that Harrison is going to be a beast.
Well, Harrison is going to be a beast, but it also means he thinks that the Rams got a really high draft grade. That the Rams,
well, they did.
High, you know,
they did. They got a B plus from Pro Football Focus, and I would have guessed if you looked at Sports Illustrated or CBS or NFL, you'll see something very similar.
Well,
At least a solid B or an A minus.
You know.
So again, if everybody did well, then it's going to be really hard to tell what's going to happen there. But he obviously likes the Rams. I don't know if I would go there, but I'm not ready to put a prediction out for that just yet. The division that's going to be spectacular to watch, you don't want to miss any division games, is the NFC North. Bears A, Lions A, Packers and Vikings both B plus. Great drafts. Lions were already good and will remain good because they had really great drafts. Packers were up and coming and will continue to be up and coming because they got B plus. Vikings went and got JJ McCarthy in the first round. Even if you don't believe fully in JJ McCarthy, he could not land in a better situation. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, unbelievable. Josh Jacobs, wait, did Josh Jacobs go there? No. Who's their running back?
Green, what's from Green?
Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones from the Packers.
Yeah.
Oh, they're loaded.
Yeah.
They're loaded.
Now Colin has the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and then in fourth place, the Vikings.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, if they're obviously they're going to be depending on a rookie quarterback, so I can kind of go with that. But then so are the Bears. Now, do you think the Bears offense looks loaded too when you really look at names?
Well, our challenge with the Bears is coaching. And
Ooh, okay. That's you're right. You're right. Everybody seems I know Cowherd loves the Vikings coach. He talks glowingly about that guy all the time. So, all right, that makes sense.
Like you said, the Packers, this is Jordan Love, and they showed up last year, made the playoffs.
Yes, they did.
Had a little bit of a taste of it, and pretty much everybody's coming back.
And they got Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Right. And their
receiver, the number one running back in the NFL when it comes to yardage and stuff. So,
and their receiver core is all young and all fast and all hands. Nice group of running backs. Not the big giant names like some other teams have, but these guys are all basically proven. Even the third guy is proven. So, when you look at the AFC, The only division in the AFC where all four teams did well in the draft was the AFC West, of course. Raiders B plus, Chiefs B plus, Broncos A minus, and Chargers A. What did Colin Cowherd say about that? Did he say?
Going from first to fourth, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders.
Okay, that makes sense.
Can't argue.
That makes sense.
Can't argue.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are going to continue to be challenged for another year or two. But yeah, so that's really interesting. I don't see anything else really spectacular going on with
Yeah, it's
any of
really
the other
interesting.
divisions.
You got the Texans, the Jaguars, Colts, and Titans in the South. They got the Ravens in first place in the North, the Bengals, the Steelers, and then the Browns. So
Right. But everybody,
that's in Bay, Colin.
if you ask Riddick or any of these other guys on TV who had the best draft, they'll tell you the Steelers.
Steelers, yeah.
Pro Football Focus gave him an A plus.
And I'm already kind of saying I think Russell's going to have a decent year. I don't think it's going to be a bust year for him. So
No, I think he's going to do well.
talking about how the Steelers made the playoffs last year.
Right.
The two quarterbacks that they had, which were much less relative to quality than what they have now at quarterback.
And still made the playoffs. Correct.
So
correct. They shored up their defense a little bit. Yeah. They're going to be a handful.
Joe
Burrow will be back.
With those guys.
Joe Burrow's going to be back, so the Bengals will be back. But the Ravens won the division, and the Ravens went far. And they're not getting any.
Derrick Henry.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, between Lamar with Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts with Saquon Barkley, I'm not quite sure. Again, both quarterbacks aren't really option type guys, but both running backs are not really option guys, but both quarterbacks are moving away from the option. So you have to see how this is going to turn around. I mean, Lamar,
instead of it being a main feature, they just kind of have it to dangle over the defense's head. Exactly. Oh yeah, we can go to this anytime we want to.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes them really dangerous.
Man,
that makes them really dangerous.
Burrow's coming back for the Bengals, and again, the Steelers, they got in third, and the Browns in fourth place. So the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns are confusing to me. I don't even like using a lot of fantasy brain cells on the Browns. They're kind of a mess. I heard a rumor that Kareem Hunt might be. The Giants are talking to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So right now, Devin Singletary, who's coming off a career year with the Texans, is our number one back. And we drafted a guy. Oh, what round was that? I want to say it was like the third round. His name is Tyrone Tracy. This guy was a receiver who converted to running back. So he's got a kind of different kind of running style, and he's got hands, and he runs in the high 4.4s. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then just to round it out on the AFC East, he's got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots. So he still got the Bills in first place.
Well, the Jets and the Patriots had the best drafts out of everybody in that division. Jets got an A, Patriots B plus.
Okay. And the Jets have Aaron Rodgers, and they still got them at third.
Hey.
That's going to be.
They don't believe in him. I don't know why. Well, he doesn't believe in him.
Those top three could go either way. I think there could be a lot of competition in the top three there.
Yeah, that's a division that's going to be very hard to call.
Yeah, I'm telling you. All right, excellente. Fantastic. All right, Betty, we're going to jump into our social media page and talk about some current events and hot topics. All right, Benny. So here's a topic that hasn't gotten a lot of play, on television, but I'm reading a lot about it. Marvin Harrison Jr. has yet to sign his NFLPA contract. And I believe I mentioned a few weeks back that there could be some kind of a problem with the NIL contracts that they're handing out in college. Then when these guys go to the NFL and they've got like if they go within 4 years and they got a 4-year college contract, now they have an issue with the contract at the NFL level. And I think what's happening is the Fanatic people are trying to hold these guys to their college level of payment. And Marvin's like, nah, I'm an NFL player now. You got to up this contract. And so kind of that's where the rub is with Marvin Harrison Jr. And apparently this is going to set some type of a precedent for all of those college players who the Fanatic people are going to and trying to get them to sign these NIL deals because they're seeing what's happening here. So this will be something that we need to just keep an eye on.
The Fanatic company is doing this?
Yeah, the Fanatics, yeah.
So Fanatic sells apparel, jerseys,
Yeah.
T-shirts, hats.
And the NFL has a contract with them. And apparently, until he signs this contract, he cannot appear on like any NFL stuff. So he won't even be able to play with him under his name or anything on Madden if he doesn't sign this thing. So this is a bit of an encompassing deal for Marvin Harrison Jr. there.
Well, maybe he's going to try to be a little pioneer in changing some things with this if he makes a big deal of it.
I don't think he's going to try. I think he is the pioneer. I think
he's made up his mind. Huh?
Yeah, because once,
like
I said, all eyes are on him now. You know, especially as high as he went, being the number one
receiver on the
board.
Definitely.
So he's like, you got to pay me like the number one guy. What you talking about? So I understand that Michael Parsons was not happy with the Eagles draft. He think they did a really great job. So
he's thrilled with the Eagles draft. He's just mad that they're Eagles and not Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. So the Eagles got away with a number of picks. Got another Mitchell guy. I always like that. And you said goodbye to a couple different players that they're also saying might be gone soon. So a lot of things happening there. I wanted to mention this more so than anything else about the potential for an 18-game NFL season. Apparently, Goodell said he would welcome the addition of a second bye week, and expanding from a 7 to an 18-game season where you would have only 2 preseason games. And then it's going to push the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend, which would make it a 3-day weekend on the Super Bowl weekend.
Okay.
So Monday, a lot of people would not have to go to work.
He's going all out to make sure fans like it.
Hey, sounds kind of nice to me.
He ain't going to get no kickback from the fans. He's going to get kickback from players, though.
That might be true, but if he takes away one of their exhibition games, you're not really playing.
You have to do that now.
Yeah, you got it. Well,
you got it.
Starters weren't playing exhibition games anyway. But long story short, that makes sense. That you would only have the 2. So
that's true. You also saw teams getting off to really slow starts. I mean, we realized, we got our what we call the second preseason and all that stuff. But last year, there were some starters that got off to really slow starts because they didn't have the extra preseason game. And then it looked like teams were like afraid to play them.
Yeah.
So they said, we'll err on the side of caution, keep them out. And then when the regular season started, guys were getting these little no contact, non-contact injuries
Mhm.
and or not really playing well until they, till week 4 or whatever. So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, that first, we call it the second preseason, really, is showing itself when you have those, hardly any preseason under your belt, at all. Usually with the 4 games, they could ease them in a little bit, you know what I mean? Let them get a few
Not
reps.
to mention, not to mention that you still got to cut down to 53, which means now you have less games to make decisions on your roster.
Yeah, yeah.
That puts a lot of pressure on organizations.
All right. And then, Benny, what do you think about teams wearing the Guardian caps over their helmets during games?
That's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen?
Nope. I think I sent you something. You might not have seen it. I
Okay.
read the article, and in the article, they said that they already have game helmets that are just as protective, if not better, than the Guardian cap.
Yeah, that was in the article. That was
Right.
which makes me wonder why they're even having this conversation.
Um,
Because some guys get weird about their helmets. They like, I like this helmet. This is the helmet I want right here.
yes.
And if
Yes.
it's not that helmet that gives them the extra protection, then maybe they get the option to throw the Guardian cap on there. I don't know.
I don't know about that. That's a possibility. That happened with Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
He had an old style helmet when he went to the Raiders, and they're like, dude, you got to upgrade your helmet. He's like, no, I
yeah.
ain't doing it. But his was really like an old style. Like they really did not want him to go on the field with that helmet. And he was adamant about it. It was a big mess. Because everything with him seems to be a big mess anyway.
That's yeah. You're using him for an example. Even throws,
I know. I know. Of all people who need better head protection.
of all people, it's kind of crazy. Then we have a new Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, and this guy's actually a player.
You seen him before? You know about
Yeah, he plays for Alabama.
him? He hasn't gotten the fanfare that I'm used to seeing yet, but maybe that'll come.
Well, they had Terry Arnold, first rounder on one side. They had Kool-Aid McKinstry, who I believe went in the first round or early second on the other side. I think this guy was like the slot corner, so he played in the nickel and all that. But I mean, he went to Alabama.
Right.
Everybody on Alabama's 4-star on up.
Okay.
Maybe a couple 3-stars might slip in there. So the kid can play. The Jets got him, right?
Don't ask me. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Jets had the last pick. I think they took him. So
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye out for him. Should jot his name down and keep an ear out for this guy, see how he's doing in camp.
I'm sitting here. Jets. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Jets got him. The Jets got him for sure. For sure. Ben, we
Mm-hmm.
talked about the legacy picks, Gore's son and
Oh,
the son and
I'm
all of that.
glad you brought that up
Why do you say that?
because I made some notes about it and I forgot I made them. But go ahead.
One of the things we did not talk about was Hank Aaron's great nephew.
Oh,
Kamani
this was
Vidal.
what's his name?
Kamani Vidal. He's the great
Kamani
nephew
Vidal. Okay,
of
this
Hank
one slipped
Aaron.
by me.
He was picked number 181 in round 6 to the Chargers, a running back.
Wow.
Great nephew of Hank Aaron,
And what position does he play?
running back.
Okay.
He's an RB, and I know your baseball. You love a baseball, so I was surprised that we didn't pick that up, but I thought that,
Interesting.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So we talked about that. Talked about Tank Dell. Tank Dell's okay. We talked a little bit about that, and Matt Ryan goes to NFL Today He's going to be with an esteemed group of people there, including James Brown, Nate Burleson, Bill Cowher, and J.J. Watt. What a group.
Yeah, they're trying to make that group a little younger.
Are they?
Yeah. JJ's pretty good. I've seen JJ on TVs.
You see him before?
He's entertaining, yeah. Well, he
Okay.
comes on the Pat McAfee show all the time.
You know, I'm gonna say this about the Pat McAfee show. I very rarely watch it because he's got the sound volume or something turned up all the way from the station. And I'm sitting here and it's like, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I turn around and immediately turn it down and change the channel.
No, that's because they're having fun, man.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, they're having fun. That's all.
We can have fun at a lower volume. I'm old, man. I don't need all that noise.
No, that's the
Yeah.
demographic. The demographic they're going for. That's the way they like their sports.
So that's the way they like it loud.
Yes, sir. Loud and funny. And it's like Carton on steroids.
Yeah, even his write-up, man. We're just a bunch of stooges and
Yeah. 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 It's all about fun. It's all about fun.
all right, well, it's too loud for me. So can I tell you?
But he has really good guests on all the time. He has really good guests.
Yeah, the darn commissioner on.
Yeah, he gets everybody. There's nobody that doesn't want to be on his show. They all love him. What's his name? Nick Saban was on every week during the season.
Wow.
It was like Nick Saban Tuesday or something.
Well, we'll finish up with a couple of things. Darryl Green will have his number retired.
About time.
Yeah, really. You know, I mean, Jimmy Christmas.
Had to get rid of that stupid owner.
Ah, yes, the stupid owner. Okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Oh, Darryl Green. Woo. Man.
Speed. Running down people that they didn't think could possibly be run down.
Right.
He was amazing for sure, for sure. All right, Benny. I don't have much more.
Real quick, the legacy thing, real fast.
Okay.
So Tariq Owens, wide receiver out of Missouri State, whose dad obviously is Terrell Owens, excuse me, ended up being an undrafted free agent, but did get picked up by the 49ers. So couldn't think of a better offense for a wide receiver to go to and a better head coach to learn offense from. So he's in good hands. How well he does remains to be seen. We'll have to keep an eye out for him. Brendan Rice, wide receiver out of USC, favorite target of the Bears' new quarterback, Caleb Williams, went in the last round, round 7, to the LA Chargers. Good move for Brendan Rice. He's on a team that is wide receiver needy, and he will have the best chance out of almost all these guys to actually make a roster and do well if he does well in training camp. So good luck to Brendan Rice. I don't expect him to be Jerry Rice, but I do expect him to make the squad.
Okay.
Frank Gore Jr., running back out of Southern Mississippi, ended up as an undrafted free agent also. He went to the Buffalo Bills. Bills are kind of stacked at running back. When I say stacked, I'm just talking about bodies. I'm not talking about quality, which means that he's got an opportunity.
Oh, okay.
So we'll keep an eye out for Frank Gore Jr., see how well he does. Here's somebody that didn't get mentioned early on when we talked about this. Luke McCaffrey, brother of Christian McCaffrey, son of Ed McCaffrey, wide receiver who played for the Giants, the Niners, and the Broncos during his career. He's going to the Commanders. He's going to have a tough time. Now, he was a third-round pick, so chances are they're going to hang on to him and try to do what they can do to keep him in there since they spent a third round pick on him. But, they got Scary Terry and they got Dotson, and it's kind of crowded over there in that receiver room. So we'll have to see what Luke McCaffrey can do. But he's quite a route runner, so I hear. The little bit of tape I saw on him says that he can run pretty smooth routes and has really good hands. So we'll see how he does. And here's another guy we missed, Chris Jenkins. And when I heard Chris Jenkins, I'm like, wait, I know Chris Jenkins. He played for the Panthers. He's a D tackle, or was a D tackle. Well, this is his son, also Chris Jenkins. If I'm not mistaken, they're out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania is where they're from. His dad played for the Panthers, and he played a little bit for the Jets. Jenkins got picked in round 2. So I expect him not only to make it with where'd he go? Oh, he went to the Bengals. I expect him to make it, and I expect him to get playing time. I don't know if he'll crack the starting lineup, but I expect him to get in the D line rotation over there with Cincinnati. So he's D tackle out of Michigan. And then your guy that you discovered first, Quantez Stiggers.
Yeah.
Wow. I read this guy's story, man. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This guy didn't get in college at all. No college. Played in one of these wacky, what's it called?
The
fan is a fan base.
league. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an indoor league. He's a corner. Played so well that the Toronto Argonauts of the CFL picked him up. Played so well there that the Jets drafted him in round 5.
Wow.
That's interesting. This kid can obviously play. Hopefully he makes the team. I'm sure, if nothing else, they'll make a kick returner or a gunner on special teams out of him or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this kid can actually play. He can actually play. So I really got my fingers crossed for him to do well.
All right. Fantastic. And as we get ready to log off, I do want to say I talked to one of our close connects about Mr. Corey Clement.
Ah, yeah. How's Corey doing? Where's he at?
He's doing okay. He's not on a roster right now. He is ready. He is working out. He's in tip-top shape. So we'll have to eye out on our young boy, and hopefully he'll get it picked up by somebody. He's got a few years to go to get that full medical. You know what I mean? So
right. It's got to hang in there.
Got to hang in there, and find some places that he can be there and be a contributor. And he's ready. He's always ready.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right, that's all I got.
All right, go Sixers.
Thanks for following. Please leave comments and suggestions. Our hashtag is football is life. Ben wants to say go Sixers. And it's going to be an interesting game. Ben.
Yes.
Janelle. Oh my God. Janelle, of all the kids that I was involved with, is the one who's most interested in football. She is, well, first of all, she's a Maxey fan. So she's already on that. She's an Angel Reese fan. But it's just interesting. She's a homer. She's the Sixers and Eagles and all of that. So it's interesting to have at least one of the kids, especially one of the girls, pick football. So that's how that's going to go. All right, man. That's it for me.
That's it for me too. Y'all take it easy out there.